Right. Quick one to address the ever-changing tactics of Fyaz and his latest attempts to weasel out of the ever-mounting evidence that this guy is basically a scumbag. I did a video a couple of weeks back, but I got a ban, so I didn't get the chance to upload it, and I thought rather than upload that one that's a few weeks out of date, I'll do a quick one now. Yeah, so he's done a live feed again, and he's talking about this is a claim I haven't made, by the way. I've never made this claim, because I want to put my issue out there and just lay it out so it's totally transparent what my issue is with what Mo is doing, right? Because there's a lot of people that's turning around and saying about this house thing that he's got. He scrounged a house out of somebody. Possibly he's conned an old couple out of it. Again, I mean, it's a bit of a leap, because Mo didn't mention anything about there being an old couple. But he did mention something about if they happened to die, the house would be left to him. Which is, I think that's where people are looking at it and going, hold on a minute, how old are these people? Because it's a very strange thing to say. But that's by the by. The other thing is, there's people talking about these discrepancies within these PayPal and GoFundMe things to do with charity. You know, a lot of people are harping on about this charity walk. And this Dostana, or whatever the hell he's called, this page that he set up. I'll be totally honest. If he's doing something illegal, that is obviously bad, and if people can get evidence of it, yeah, go to the police. But for me, it was never about whether it was illegal or not. Never. It was never about that. It was the fact that he's asking for money. And now it's wrong on a moral level. It's wrong totally. Now, his latest tactic is to try and he's taking two separate claims and conflating them. This is what he's doing, to try and make out like we've said something that we haven't. Now, by we, I mean me, Glenn Beecroft, Seamus Healy, you know, the usual. The other thing he's done recently, which nobody seems to give a shit about, is he's doxed a lady called Scarlett Wright. He doxed her because he thought that Scarlett and Seamus were the same person. Well, they're not, and he knows that. He knows that, yet he's doxed her anyway. He likes doxing people. Funnily enough, he put a post up the other day whinging on about this guy that doxed Tommy Robinson, and he put something like, at the end of it, if you don't want doxed, don't dox people. So, pot, kettle, black. You know what I mean? He does it all the time. Threatens people's jobs all the time. I think he's been doing this for a while. I bet you find out there's a lot of people questioning this guy over the last couple of years. And as soon as he starts mentioning jobs and real names and things like that, I think they just shut up. I think that's why he's gotten away with it for so long. I know fine well he'd done it to J.A. Statham, who's a person that I have absolutely no respect for, really. But by the same token, he did it to her. He threatened to turn up at her work. That was all over Facebook when that happened. So this guy, like I say, not only is he a liar, he's a scumbag, he's a weasel, he's a hypocrite. He's an absolute hypocrite. But let's just take the conflating two things and putting them together. He said, "Where is my PayPal account?" He said that in one of his videos, as if to say, basically making the claim that he never put a PayPal details out there. Well, they are out there. Publicly, he put them out there on more than one occasion. Then he tried to conflate the two, where he said that the original claim was that he used his PayPal to take petrol money off people. Now, I would imagine that he has done that, but that was never the claim for me. The claim was that he takes money from people, whether it be via PayPal, whether it be via bank transfer, whether it be in person, because there's a video that's online of him claiming that he had a parking ticket paid for by somebody. Now, that's obviously been done in person, if it's happened at all. See, this is the other thing. This guy lies so much that you can't really... I mean, the house thing, I'm not 100% certain that's legit. I'm not so certain anything that this guy says is legit. His backstory, anything. It's all in doubt now. It's all up in the air as far as I'm concerned. But the point is, it was never about... The claim was never that he used PayPal to take money to put towards travel funds. I don't care what he's putting the money towards. Whether he's claiming that it's for food, for a bedsit, for a new house, for a parking fine, for... Because the reason's changed, that's the point. The reason has changed. This guy is so comfortable taking money off people. It doesn't matter what he's taking, what he's using it for. The point is that he's taking it. Now, if he doesn't see anything wrong with that, clearly. I've actually said that, he said that he'd never taken money off anybody, and he asked me to prove it. And then I fired him up a screenshot, because originally, the claim was that he'd only ever taken money to travel, to go to the Edinburgh March. Well, that's false, because there's evidence of him asking for money to go to Newcastle. And there's evidence of him, he put a status up saying that he took money off somebody to go to Newcastle. Or somebody gave him money and helped him, you know, he likes to use that one. Helped him to go places. Now, he obliterates his own arguments with this nonsense. But he just spins it a different way. So he'll turn around and say, show me the clear evidence of the PayPal account that I made public that asked for money to go to such and such an event on such and such a date, on such and such a time. He tries to narrow it so it's so minute, and then when you turn, you know, when nobody provides the very specific example that he wants, he says, it's all lies. It is all lies. Malicious lies. It's like, come on, we all see what you're doing. We all see. There's all this other evidence out there of you taking money, but you want to try and narrow it so people don't see that. You also encourage people to block me. And anybody else that criticises. You block them yourself. This is the other thing. He keeps going about this live feed, right? About, why are you scared to do a live feed with a man that stammers? I'm not scared to do a live feed with you, Mo. You've blocked me, so I can't do a live feed with you. Simple as. Don't try and con people. You know, nobody's scared to do a live feed with you because the evidence is so overwhelming. Why don't you respond to Jackie Jones? She's offered to do a live feed with you. She's got a separate beef that's kind of unrelated to the money situation. Why don't you live stream her? That status went up weeks ago. You know. And this thing that I'm scared of live streaming you. What are you talking about? I said I would talk to you in person, and you could film it in person. But if you want to do a live feed, we'll do a live feed, no problem. But at this point, live feed, not really necessary, is it? I've got plenty of evidence, and the best of it is, it was all on my wall, but it's been buried under a lot of other public posts with people tagging me and all sorts of stuff. But over the next few days, I'm going to bump them all up to the top of the page again so people see. And I'll try, because I think I've got enough evidence of him making phony claims, or specious claims. I'll try and debunk them one by one. Yeah. So, that's what's coming up. Mo's basically talking bollocks again. Yeah, so he's done. I mean, the guy is done. He's finished. There was a page set up exposing Mo Fyaz. He got over 100 likes in space of a few days. He's been taken down now. But there'll likely be another one like that pop up. Sharing stuff that was on my page, sharing stuff that was on Seamus Healy's page. There's a channel that's run by I think it's by some Muslims, that's doing some good work, really. I mean, fair enough, they're probably trolling the Tommy fans to a certain degree. They've shared my videos on it often enough. But when you're right, you're right. You know, you've got to be intellectually honest about stuff. And when they're calling this guy out for what he's doing, the shady things that he's been doing, they're right to do that. And obviously their motives aren't the same as ours. They just want to see everybody that criticises Islam get sort of defamed. Is that the word? Yeah, defamed. Brought down kind of thing. Exposed. They just want to see that. Which is, alright, yeah, whatever. But when you've got a point, you've got a legitimate point, which they have. You've got to acknowledge that they've got a legitimate point. They're actually doing us a favour there. So, yeah, those videos are getting shared about. My videos are getting cropped and put on their channel. It's just one of them, innit? The guy is done. He's finished. His days are numbered. And you people that are still following him, you know, every time he does a live feed, 300 comments with, "Hi, Mo." You know, like, what are you doing? What are you doing kissing this guy's ass? Have a word with yourself. Have a look at the evidence that's out there against him if you've not blocked it all. because you've got cognitive dissonance to the absolute core. You won't even, I think this is the point I made on a previous vid, but I didn't get a chance to upload it. You Mobots, you know, don't you? You know that he's full of shit. That's why nobody comes on our posts and tries to defend him, because they can't, because we've got so much evidence against him. What it is, they've invested too much time and effort into this guy's ex-Muslim story and his letting love win story and all this bollocks that he's put out there. You can't bring yourselves to admit that the guy's a charlatan. But, you know, this is for your growth, people. This is for your intellectual growth. Watch the vids, read the evidence, the screenshots. They'll be posted within the next few days. Like I say, I'll go through them one by one if I can and blitz him. Because he's done. He's finished.